Hey, so today we're looking at double stops, specifically with a major scale. So double stops are basically very tiny two-note chords, like that, or like this. So in this case, we're going to be using the one-string major scale, which was one of the previous lessons. So I definitely recommend that you check that out first. We're going to be in the key of E, which in this case, we're going to use the E that's on the 5th fret of the B string. So if we were to do the one string major scale, that's pretty much the scale we're going to use, but we're going to have another note tailing along for the ride on the E string to accompany every one of those notes. So the way that it works is we're going to have two shapes that we're going to use for every one of those spots. Either this shape, which is basically a major chord, and we'll also have this shape, which is a minor chord. Not necessarily, using those two fingers. You could use any choice of fingers, but just to show you that it was just a 1-fret slide on that second note there. That's what we have happening. So as we follow up the scale, we're going to put major shapes or major chords on the 1st, 4th, and 5th note, and we're going to put the minor shape on the 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 7th. Technically the 7th is a diminished chord, but when you only play it as two notes like this as opposed to 3 notes or more, it's the exact same shape as minor. So we're only using 2 shapes. So here's that first note, E. It's the first note of the first chord, so we use the major shape. Now we move up a whole step to note 2, and 2 is going to be the minor shape. And then we move up to note 3, whole step, same minor shape. Then we move up a half step to note 4, major shape, whole step to note 5, major shape, whole step to note 6, minor shape, whole step to note 7, same shape, but technically it's diminished now, even though it looks like a minor, and then half step to note 8 or note 1 again. They're the same, and back to major. So all together, now, what's pretty cool about that is you could take that idea and move it to any of the other different sets of strings, right? So this was an E, we could go to this E and do the same exact thing. Or this E. Or this E. So there's only one problem set. If we were to use the G and B string, if we group those two together, that's the only set of strings where we need different shapes because of the way the guitar is tuned. So for example, if we went to E on the G string and we wanted to tie it to the B string to create these double stops, instead of doing this, what used to be the major shape, they're now both on the same fret. And what used to be the big minor stretch is now what used to look like a major. So you end up with this. So a little tight up there in the key of E, but that's the way that you would use your double stops if you wanted to use those two strings. Every other set, the E and the A string is the original way we did it. The A and the D string, the D and the G string, G and the B, we change it, and the B and the E string is where we originally were checking it out. So try to go as best as you can, just going straight up and down a scale. Start maybe with this key of E and then try a different one. Try it on the different sets of strings, and some cool tricks that you can use when you're practicing it. The reason E is a good place to start is you have a low E string that you can drone. it's almost like having a little bit of a backing track behind you. You could do that if you did an A scale. You could drone the A string. Find an A to start on. Right? So obviously we're limited by the strings that we have if you wanted to do that, but you can find any backing track in any key or any song, and as long as it's a regular major minor key, this idea should work. So that's double stops. Give it a shot.